As some of you may know, I recently brushed up my channel with new types of content and did kind of a rebranding. I made a video talking about my fursona titled Fursona Tag and made a video summary of the creation of Arctica. You may have also noticed that I changed my profile picture from an old drawing I did of myself to a newer drawing of my fursona, and also changed my YouTube banner. Basically, I decided to quote-unquote embrace my furriness and see how that would affect me, especially as a smaller channel. Some of you may be wondering, what exactly is this social experiment, when did you start it, and why did you start it? That needs a bit of context. So during the first few years of high school, I started to pay more and more attention to the internet and the interactions between people online. Being warned about the dangers of the internet, I wanted to do my own sort of investigation on internet culture. However, I wanted to start small and decided to stick with YouTube as my main website of focus for my internet interaction experiment. Since I had already established a YouTube channel for myself, it would only seem reasonable to start there. While I watched YouTube videos, I would look through a few comments on videos to get a general sense of how people interacted with each other online. People mostly interacted in a polite, opinionated manner, and further supported on the viewpoints they agreed with. However, as I started to learn more about hate comments and moved on to more controversial videos, I began to notice what's called a shitstorm breakout in the comments. A storm like this in the comments would basically consist of people violently defending their own positions and attacking opposing views. There is a heavy amount of people with self-justice and feel the need to win their argument. This kind of behavior can derive from neglect from their parents or a lack of friends to share opinions with, other outside influences, or sometimes it could just be their personality type. Most often, the outsiders who are bullied and looked down upon in real life can channel their anger through the internet and bully others for being different so that they feel better about themselves in real life. I decided to start adding my own comments on my viewpoints and occasionally dropped controversial comments here or there just to see how people would react and gather information based on that. If I supported an idea in a comment thread, I would get some comments supporting me further and some attacking the idea or even my views directly. For example, if I dropped a comment on a video supporting pineapples on pizza saying, "I still hate pineapple on pizza, it tastes gross to me," I would get some comments saying, "Yeah, I totally agree," and some saying, "Are you kidding me? Pineapple on pizza is amazing, you're just dumb and picky." Sometimes the comments would just stop there, and sometimes it can turn into a shitstorm of people trying to convince each other that the other viewpoint is wrong. Eventually, I have to delete my comment in respect of the video maker and in respect of other people so they can stop feeling angry and upset about something that doesn't really matter. In some severe cases, I've seen video makers disable comment sections to avoid causing a shitstorm like this, since all it does is just ruin someone's day. After a few more months of research, I began to take note of how members of different communities treat each other and how divided we truly are and can be on the internet. I was once part of the Minecraft community and had a profile picture of my Minecraft character on my YouTube profile. I got a few comments saying, "Ugh, another Minecrafter," or "Go away, cringe kid." I noticed a lot of people with profile pictures of fandoms they are a part of get a lot of flack for even daring to support their fandom pride with a profile picture about it. The most notable ones include, but are not limited to, profiles of My Little Pony, Minecraft, Roblox, Five Nights at Freddy's, Fan, and so much more. All of these communities get a bunch of hate all the time in the comments and are called cancerous or disgusting or cringy by other fandoms or other users in general. A lot of these communities have a bad rap for being childish and associated with perverted imagery, when in reality childish behavior and perverted imagery is part of every fandom. One of the unspoken internet rules, called Rule 34, suggests that if it exists, there has, is, and will be porn of it. And that's just the internet for you. It's just that some fandoms are unfortunately first known through these mediums and are wrongly portrayed by the media. After noticing this issue and pattern of people bullying fandom-dedicated channels or profile pictures, I decided to conduct a social experiment to see how correct I am in my findings. And knowing the internet, I won't be let down by this. So I decided to change my profile picture to a drawing of me as a human, or my best attempt at one, and set that as my new channel image. I kept my furriness on the down low and observed on how I would be treated. As this went on, most people didn't bother to look at what I had to say or even clicked on my profile to see my channel. I did sometimes participate in a few comment discussions, and very little people judged me based on my profile, since it was considered more normal to look at. This is the time when I conducted most of my research and kept this up until a week ago, when I decided to pull a 180 on everyone and kick full swing into a furry channel. After my profile picture finally finished updating, I decided to post comments like I usually would, and I immediately got a response on my comment. The comment was a reply to me on a comment I made on a PewDiePie video. A few hours after that, I got a reply on a comment I made on a Yesterday I Asked You video by Jax Films, who has a notoriously easily triggered fanbase, as seen when PewDiePie started doing a parodied video series called Last Week I Asked You. Anyways, back to the main point. The purpose of this Yesterday I Asked You series is that Jack, the owner of the YouTube channel Jax Films, asks a question along the lines of, what does the acronym BTS really stand for? And people post hilarious answers to that question and tag it with a hashtag for a chance to be featured in one of his videos. I decided to post my take on the question like I've done in the past, and only 2 replies I got on my comment were about my profile picture. I knew that the people in his fanbase are quite against furries, so I was not surprised by this reaction at all. There was no turning back now. I had uploaded 2 heavily furry-related videos and completely changed the face of my channel, from my profile picture all the way to my YouTube banner, and I decided to run this experiment even further. I added more Yesterday I Asked You answer entries and put comments on other people's videos, and suddenly people clicked on my profile, were redirected to my channel, and saw my featured video, which was my fursona tag, and boy did the comments start coming at me. I never experienced this much hate in the history of my channel. Since I was a small channel, I would be an easy target for people to try and ruin my day and belittle me as much as possible just so they feel good. Now, some of these comments can be regarded as satire or sarcasm, but it's hard to tell when you're typing online, so in my eyes as the receiver, I see all of these replies as hate comments about me being part of this fandom that seems cringy, childish, disgusting, and cancerous. However, there were a lot of people who weren't fazed by my furry presence, either because they didn't pick up on the hint, they didn't know what the furry fandom was, they were cool with furries, or were part of the fandom themselves. This experiment has been a long time coming, and I've definitely learned a lot about internet culture from my online experience. The internet is a very divided and hostile place that serves as a breeding ground for hate. Any fandom that you are a part of, and any opinions that you have, can and will be shat on by other people trying to prove you wrong or belittle you, which in turn will make themselves feel better and more superior to you. At a day and age where most people can just hide behind a screen, it gives users more power to speak their mind and mercilessly destroy other people's lives without having to feel guilt because they can't see it happening. However, the internet isn't all torches and pitchforks trying to slowly murder you in the most painful way possible. I've heard many stories and seen how the internet can bring people together through online forums. For example, the LGBT community, and providing help and support to each other, making them feel like they belong. People within a fandom can also share interests and find lasting friendships and connect across the world. With the right patience, knowledge, and caution, you will survive the internet and find the people you can connect with and spread positivity and light during the dark times in life or on the internet. Hopefully, I was able to provide you all with some amount of wisdom, and feel free to share your own advice in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say as well, and we can all talk about this and think about this more often. Like my mom said, the internet is a beautiful place, but also a mine ground. If you aren't careful, you can get hurt or blown up. Please tread carefully through your adventures on the internet.